he sees me. I am not down here. I am upstairs. He knew I wasn't. He would have heard me come down the stairs. Our stairs creak so loudly, he would have heard me come down. So he gets out his phone. Well, it was in his hand, but he presses record and he walks by it and walks up on the stairs, and you can just see this thing in the background. Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back. So I know you're probably here from the follower stories that I do, but if you do not follow me on my other socials, you might not know that I have some pretty creepy stuff happen to me. That's what got me into doing follower stories as well, because when I started telling my stories, I was like, oh, I'm starting to not feel so alone. And then people started sending me their stories and I started sharing them. So I have a lot of things that happen to me that pique people's interest, but the most prevalent one seems to be the mimic. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you're probably like, the thing from Minecraft? No. A mimic is an entity that sole purpose is to literally just make you miserable. I swear. It's horrible and they are horribly hard to get rid of. A mimic will pretend to be either you or people around you that you love and trust, and they do that in order to either get closer to you, to replace you, or to replace someone that you're close to. But they are trying to get close to you. For whatever reason, you're the one seeing it, you. I filmed a video on here probably a year ago documenting all of my experiences with this thing up until that point, but a lot has happened since then, so my original plan was to do a part 2. I went and looked at that old video. I do not like the quality. I feel like I've really stepped up my game on here and it just looks bad. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna retell them all from start to current, and then I'm gonna private that video and it's never gonna see the light of day again. So if you're seeing this, let's go ahead and wave goodbye to the old video because it is gone. So on top of me telling you stories, I actually have caught this thing on camera because this is just what I do and I always have a camera going in my hand, and in turn, I have seen this thing behind me several times. So you guys will see that as well. Stay tuned. So I know I already kind of explained to you what a mimic was. I plan on doing an entire breakdown of like in depth of what they are, why they do what they do, how you attract them, and how to get rid of them, and things like that. If I did it all in this video, I feel like it would be absurdly long, so I'm going to do a part 2 to this in a few weeks. Because I've managed to get rid of it for myself, and fingers crossed it's gotten rid of it for my husband, so we'll see. But let's hop right on into the stories with the very first encounter that I had. So this occurred well over a year ago, potentially closer to 2 years ago, when I was upstairs in our bathroom. Now in our bathroom, you have the sink and then the door that leads out into the hallway. So if you're standing in front of the sink, your back is to the stairs if the door is open, because when you walk out, you can go straight down the stairs or there's a bedroom on either side. Well, I had the door open and I was standing at the sink doing my makeup, skincare, whatever. I glance up in the mirror and I see that my husband is standing with his back to me, like looking down the stairs. So I said something to him, he doesn't respond. I look down at the counter, look back up, and within that split second, that man is gone. I was like, that's strange. So I walked out of the bathroom and into our bedroom, and I was like, you know, why didn't you answer me? Why'd you walk away so quick? And as I am talking to him, I'm noticing that this man has an outfit change. When I saw him, he was wearing a red flannel, and that was not on his body anymore. He was wearing a t-shirt and basketball shorts. So I'm having a meltdown, and I'm kind of mad because I'm like, this man is messing with me, and it's working because it scared me, and now I'm upset. So he keeps defending himself. He's like, I didn't do it. I wasn't in the bathroom. I wasn't wearing the flannel. Until eventually we walk downstairs together and my heart sinks as I see that red flannel hanging up down here. And there was no way he could have maneuvered that way. There's no way. He just didn't have it on. That wasn't him. This would start a spiral of events that I have since memorized. I don't think I will ever be able to forget every encounter that I had. And if I sat here and dished out every single one with you, we would be here forever. Any story that I tell you, just assumed that that exact story or a variation of it happened minimum 5 times after what I told you. So after this occurred, I would start seeing him in the reflection of windows and mirrors very often. And it would always be right after he left for work, for the gym, to go grab something. I would just see it in reflections. Like, I remember watching the car drive away in the window and seeing him standing behind me in the reflection of the window. I watched him drive away. That was not him. And then it stopped being just in reflections. I remember one time, and this, like I said, this happened a few times, but the first time was the most horrifying. I was down here in this downstairs bathroom, you can see it right there, but I walked out and I saw him pass by the bathroom and go back into the kitchen, and I watched him turn the corner, like, into the kitchen area. So I followed him because I was like, I didn't hear him come downstairs, what's he doing? And I walk into the kitchen and find it empty. And like I said, this would happen several times. It happened once when I was walking down the stairs right here to my right, and I saw him walk into the kitchen. There was nothing there. Every time, nothing would be there. Apart from seeing this thing captured on camera and having it confirmed to me that it was what it was, I think this story is the most terrifying thing personally to me. So I'm upstairs in my bedroom, and he leaves to go to the grocery store right down the road, probably a 5-6 minute drive, to get us ice cream. So he kisses me goodbye. He walks down the stairs, gets down here, puts on his boots, and leaves. I hear him call for me. He was asking something about the ice cream. So I remember us going back and forth, and then I said something and there was just silence. So I walked down here and the house was empty, the door was shut and locked, and the car was not here. And keep in mind, it was just like a minute or two difference. Like, this man would have had to have sprinted out of the house, got in the car, and sped out of this parking lot. So I'm confused at this point, and I remember calling him, and I could like kind of hear music in the background. And I was like, hey, where'd you go? And he was like, what do you mean? You knew I'm at the store. What do you mean? And I was like, you're at the store now? And obviously I put 2 and 2 together that I was hearing like the music overhead. And he was like, yeah, I've been here for a second. I'm getting your ice cream. And that's when it dawned on me that I was not talking to him. And I confirmed it with him. I was like, I was just talking to you. And he was like, you weren't, because I've been here. And I did, now that I think of it, when I think back, when I was talking to him down here, he was asking questions about the kind of ice cream I wanted and asking if I wanted to try something new. And I do not try anything new. I have gotten the same flavor consistently and I don't change. I get Ben & Jerry's non-dairy cookies and milk. That is it. That is all I will eat. So it was a weird conversation to have regardless. I remember another time he had also like ran out of the house late at night to get something from the store, and I was in the upstairs bathroom. I think I was doing like an everything shower. I was shaving or something, and I just remember hearing a door open down here and like boots stomp around, and I was like, oh, it's him. He's back. It's kind of weird that, he didn't call me on his way home because he just always does. But I was like, okay, well, whatever. And I just waited for him to come upstairs. But it was like 3 to 4 minutes of just stomping and doors opening and shutting. And eventually I got a bad feeling, so I FaceTimed him because I just had my iPad with me. I think my phone was dead, so you can't really make phone calls like that. You have to FaceTime on an iPad. And when he answered it, I saw store owls behind him. He was, in fact, not home. So I started whispering, and I was like, I think someone's in the house downstairs. I think someone's in here. And so he immediately dropped everything he was doing and rushed back. I think he got here in like 2 minutes. Came inside, the doors were still locked, windows were locked, no one was in here, but he heard the stomping around on the phone too. He heard it through the phone, but it stopped when he got here. The only thing he was met with was a very heavy energy, he said, upon walking into the room. So, I don't know. I don't know if that has anything to do with like mimics, but I included it on here because the way the boots were stomping, it sounded identical to his shoes. It was him. Don't worry, I didn't forget about the videos, and I am going to show those in just a second, but I kind of just want to wrap up the story, and then I will show you the videos and give backstory on those. That was loud. I was posting about this online as it was happening, and I eventually had a few people reach out to me and suggest that I do a cord cutting ritual, because literally nothing I was doing, no protections, no banishments, no nothing, was helping me get rid of this thing, but the cord cutting ritual did. It got rid of it for me. Unfortunately, it did fall back onto my husband, but we will get into that in just a second. He has since then done it as well. Knock on wood, it's been a few days. We haven't had an occurrence, so we'll see. But now let's get into those videos. So here was the first time I caught it on camera, and this happened when my husband was not with me at all. He was here 15 minutes away working from home. I was at my family's haunted farm just trying to like get some footage for you guys. I can't remember exactly what I was trying to do. I know I wasn't doing any like investigating or anything. I think I used to make these videos where I would put like Appalachian rule tips just like in words, and I would get like aerial views of the farm because it's really pretty up there and put that in the background. That could have been what I was doing. Honest to God, I have no idea. But anyways, I remember filming an intro just in case I like called anything weird, and I was like trying to explain why my husband wasn't with me because he wasn't there, and I was like worried people would speculate that we got divorced. I don't know why I cared, but I did. And the first video, I tried to film it twice. The first video, I kept hearing something like call for me. It sounded like it was saying, hey. And then the second video, it happened again. And then I like kind of panned over because I was moving, and you can see the red flannel and what looks like the back of my husband's head because you can see the bun clear as day behind me. But I didn't see it in person. I just saw it on camera. And here's that video. Here's both of those videos. I'll show them both. Hey y'all, I'm at my family's haunted farm. I was gonna come explore with my husband today, but he couldn't get off from work because he's boring, so thought I'd bring you guys.
Hey. Hey.
I am exploring my family's haunted farm today, and I'm not in the woods because that's freaking scary, but my husband couldn't even come today, so it's... So then my husband came up there, and I was in my like shorts era. I really liked filming skits and things like that, and we were up there trying to do that. And my husband, to this old house, he was like off to the side, and you can see me in frame, but something comes out from behind the house, and I don't necessarily know if that's related to this or if that's something else entirely. I don't really think it's related to this, but some people do, so I will include it. I looked up. You can see me kind of look to the side because I heard something whistle. My husband didn't whistle. He said he didn't, but he did hear it. I still don't know what that was. No idea. So the next big time that I caught this thing on camera occurred at that farm as well. I was actually inside of that house that you just saw because it is a very old house. It's actually the house that my dad grew up in, and they were planning on tearing it down, and I wanted to do a final walkthrough for not only myself but for my family to see if there was anything inside that, you know, they wouldn't want to be destroyed because they were going to bulldoze it, torch it. It was a whole thing. Anyways, we're walking around the house, and I found this mound of dolls underneath the stairs, and that is a whole other story because those dolls almost ruined and ended my life. That is a whole other story that I will tell on here eventually. But or maybe I have told it. I don't know. But yeah, I was in there, and I'm like walking over to the dolls, and you can see my husband behind me, crouched. It seems like he's crouched in the corner. I'm going to show you guys these dolls really quick. But he was outside taking a video of the front because I wanted like footage around the house. So we were like, okay, two birds with one stone. You do this while I do this, and we can leave sooner because it's dusty in there. I'm allergic to dust. I just wanted to be out. The house creeps me out anyways in the worst way. So we're just trying to get it done. And while my husband's outside filming, you can actually see me walk through the house, through the windows, holding my phone, like recording, which proves that he was not in the house. You know what I mean? Now, I have caught, you know, my name being called on camera, whistling, things like that, but that could really be anything. So I'm not going to really put it here with the mimic stuff. I do need to make a video of just everything I've caught on camera, just in one spot. But things happen every day, and I would have to be constantly redoing it, so I don't know. But like I said, did the cord cutting, and I haven't had a personal experience myself in a while. I've had things happen, but I don't think they're related to the mimic. I heard my own voice call for me. I actually caught it on camera. Call for me from behind my back door. It sounded just like me, but I don't really think that was mimic related. Could be. I don't think it was. I think it was something to do with the area that I live in and living close to the woods, but I don't know. So let's get into what my husband experienced. So this was going on while I was also experiencing things, but it got really bad after I did the cord cutting and got rid of it. Now, I will say he's had a lot of experience that he does not talk about. He doesn't like talking about them, and I in turn feel kind of bad talking about them as well. Unless I've been directly involved, I don't feel comfortable sharing his stories because he genuinely just does not like it being talked about. He doesn't like the energy being brought to it, and I respect that wholeheartedly. So here are the 3 instances that have happened that have involved me. Maybe one day he'll get on here and want to tell his stories, but until then, this is what we get. So one of the main experiences he had was we were sitting just chatting in the upstairs bathroom one day, and in the middle of my sentence, he just kind of goes pale, and I'm looking at him and I'm like, what happened? And he said, I heard you call me from the stairs, like the stairs right outside the door. It obviously wasn't me. I was running my mouth in the bathroom with him, but over top of me, he heard me from the stairs call for him. I didn't hear it, which is terrifying in itself because I wasn't supposed to hear it. It was meant for him. So that happened. We never talked about it again. I told you he does not like talking about this stuff. But anyways, a while passes after that. He has more things happen to him. But another big thing that happened maybe a month or 2 ago, he was in this downstairs bathroom. I'm starting to think there's something wrong with their bathrooms. But he was down here and I was in here in the living room. And I remember I was standing right over here. I have movies on a shelf up here. And I was trying to get one down, I think. And he had the bathroom door open. And he came out of the bathroom and he said, were you just right here? And I said, no, I've been right here the whole time. And he had watched me like walk back and forth past the door and I hadn't moved. Well, a few days ago, he is downstairs by himself. He went to the kitchen for something. I was upstairs and he takes a step over this threshold and right in front of me, in front of this window, he sees me. I am not down here. I am upstairs. He knew I wasn't. He would have heard me come down the stairs. Our stairs creak so loudly, he would have heard me come down. So he gets out his phone. Well, it was in his hand, but he presses record and he walks by it and walks up on the stairs and you can just see this thing in the background.
Babe,
Yeah? What's up?
are you upstairs?
Yeah? Why? And he calls for me and I answer him and it sounds like I'm really close to him because he's on the landing of the stairs and I'm like on the other side of the wall with the bedroom door open, so I'm gonna sound close. So fingers crossed this is all of the updates we ever have on this. We've both done that ritual now. I think it'll get bored and leave us alone. But, you know, living in the mountains, we're always going to have things whistle for us and call our names. I just hope things that take the shape of both of us stop doing what they were doing. But anyways, that is all for today. I'm glad I finally got this video filmed. I've been promising it for a while, and it just takes a lot of energy out of me to talk about it. I freaking hate talking about it. But hopefully I will never have to talk about it again. All right. Y'all be safe, and I will see you in 2 days for a follower story video.